The story starts with a car named Herbie. Herbie is not just any car. He used to be the best race car on the track. For many years, he never lost a single race. Along with his owner, he traveled to different places and had many exciting adventures. But one day, everything changed. Herbie got into a serious accident. After that, he was never the same again. He started losing races again and again. Slowly, people stopped believing in him, and in the end, he was sent to a junkyard. When Herbie arrives there, he meets Dave, the owner of the junkyard, and from the very first moment, they don't like each other at all. The truck driver even warns Dave. He tells him not to mess with Herbie because the car is very proud. When Dave tries to unload Herbie from the trailer, Herbie splashes oil all over his shoes. It's clear he's not ready to give up so easily. Dave and the driver start pushing the car, while Herbie tries his best to resist. At first, he refuses to move, but then he suddenly notices a possible way to escape, so he decides to move on his own. Just when it looks like he might get away, he falls into a trap. His tires got punctured, and now he can't move anymore. With no other choice, Herbie gives up. He waits there surrounded by other old cars, waiting for the day he will be crushed. Weeks later, in another part of the city, we meet a girl named Maggie Payton. She arrives at her graduation, not in a car, but on her skateboard. She is graduating in journalism, and after the ceremony, she celebrates with her father, Ray. Ray is very proud of her. Maggie is the first person in their family to graduate from college. Her mother passed away when Maggie was very young, but Ray tells her that if she were still alive, she would be very proud of her too. Just then, Maggie's best friend, Charisma, shows up with a brand new car. It's a graduation gift from her parents. Maggie and Charisma are excited because in 1 month, they are going to move to New York together and start their new life. Meanwhile, Ray, who works as a racing coach, takes Maggie to the racetrack to watch her brother, Ray Jr. When they arrive, they meet Sally, one of the sponsors of their racing team. Soon the race begins, but just like always, Ray Jr. loses control while taking a turn and crashes. It's clear that he's trying hard, but he just doesn't have the talent for racing. He is preparing for a big NASCAR race in a few weeks, but honestly, things are not looking good for him. That night back at home, Maggie sits quietly and looks at the pictures on the wall. One photo catches her attention, her grandfather. He was one of the greatest racers of all time and Maggie's biggest inspiration. When she was younger, Maggie also dreamed of becoming a racer just like him. But everything changed after a terrible accident. She crashed on the track and had to stay in the hospital for 2 whole months. After that day, her father strictly told her no more racing. Before going to bed, Ray reminds Maggie that the next morning, he will finally buy her a graduation gift, just like he promised. The next day, they go to a junkyard so Maggie can pick her car. Meanwhile, Herbie is watching everything. He sees Maggie looking at another old race car, and right away, he decides that he wants to go home with her. Herbie tries to move closer, but he can't. His rear wheels are missing, so he's completely stuck. Just then, things get worse. The workers start towing him away straight toward the crusher. This is his last chance. Herbie honks loudly, trying to get Maggie's attention, but she is busy looking at a Nissan right in front of him. She is just about to make the deal with Dave, when suddenly Herbie breaks free from the crane at the last second and crashes right on top of the Nissan. Now the Nissan is ruined. With no better option left, Maggie decides to take the Beetle instead. And just like that, Herbie finally finds a new home. Later, Ray fixes a few small things in the car and tells Maggie to drive it to the repair shop so Kevin can check it properly. When Maggie sits inside the car, something strange happens. The glove box suddenly opens on its own. Inside, she finds a letter from Herbie's old owner, asking whoever gets the car to take good care of him. Maggie feels a little emotional, but before she can even think about it, she starts the engine, and suddenly the car moves on its own. Maggie gets scared because she's not even driving. Herbie takes her straight to the repair shop and almost runs Kevin over on the way. Kevin is shocked when he sees Maggie. It's been a long time since they last met. Back in high school, Kevin had a huge crush on her, and it looks like those feelings are still there. After a quick chat, Kevin offers to fix the Beetle, but first, he wants to test drive it, so they take the car out on the streets. But suddenly, Herbie starts releasing a huge cloud of smoke everywhere. It's super embarrassing. Maggie feels ashamed and starts thinking that maybe buying this old car was a bad idea. She even thinks about returning it, but Herbie clearly doesn't want that. Out of nowhere, the car lifts itself up and starts driving on just 2 wheels. Now Maggie completely loses control. She has no idea what's happening, and before she realizes it, they crash into a sports car exhibition. Inside, Maggie runs into some of her old classmates, and then someone very famous shows up, Trip, the current racing champion. The crowd quickly gathers around him, asking for autographs and cheering for him. But at that same moment, Herbie starts honking loudly again and again. Maggie quickly opens the hood to stop him, but instead the car sprays oil all over her shirt. Now she has no choice but to change her clothes. Luckily, Kevin finds a racing suit and a helmet in the trunk. After getting ready, Maggie sits back inside the car. But again, something strange happens. Herbie pushes her head right into the helmet, like he's forcing her to wear it. Then Trip notices the Beetle and starts making fun of them. He laughs and tells Maggie to take that car back to the circus. This makes Herbie angry. So he uses his side mirror and scratches Trip's expensive car. Now things get serious. The crowd gets excited and suggests a race to settle it. Trip agrees without hesitation. Maggie tries to get out of the car to apologize, but Herbie locks all the doors and windows. She's stuck inside. Before she knows it, the car drives straight onto the track. Trip joins them, ready to race. Crash gives the signal. Herbie's gears line up and the race begins. Maggie tries to control the car, but Herbie is not letting her drive at all. Even though the Beetle is old and worn out, he still manages to keep up with Trip's powerful car. But Trip doesn't play fair. He starts driving dangerously, trying to push them off the track. But this time, something changes. Maggie's competitive side wakes up. She decides she's not going to back down. She teams up with Herbie and goes all in to win. And finally, Herbie lets her take control. Now they are working together. They speed up and start catching Trip. Trip tries once again to crash into them, but Herbie surprises him with some crazy moves. The trip was shocking. He didn't expect this at all. As they get closer to the finish line, Herbie does something unbelievable. He climbs onto the safety barrier, speeds ahead and wins the race at the very last second. After the race, Herbie is completely exhausted. And Trip, he just can't believe what happened. He just lost to a beginner in an old Beetle. Later in the garage, Maggie tells Kevin something strange. She says she feels like she didn't really win the race. It was Herbie. But Kevin doesn't take it seriously. He just smiles and praises her, saying she has real talent. After all, she just defeated a future champion in a 1963 Beetle. The next morning, Maggie sees her father arguing with her brother. She finds out that their racing team has lost another sponsor because they keep performing badly. At that moment, Sally arrives in her yellow Beetle, and instantly, Herbie falls in love with her. Sally brings a videotape and shows it to Ray. It shows the street race from last night. Ray is shocked to see that the car Maggie bought from the junkyard actually won a race. But instead of being happy, he gets angry, because Maggie raced again. He had clearly told her to stay away from racing. To calm him down, Maggie quickly lies. She says she wasn't driving, it was someone named Max. And from that moment, she decides that Max will be her racing name. While Maggie quietly enjoys her win, Trip is burning with anger. He can't accept his defeat. His friend Larry tries to calm him down, saying it was just a street race and no one cares. But Trip's ego is hurt. He wants revenge. So he orders his team to organize a big 2-day race, sure that Max will show up. Later, Maggie goes back to Kevin's shop. Kevin shows her his new idea to fully upgrade Herbie into a real race car, but Maggie feels guilty. She tells Kevin she can't race anymore. After her accident, she promised her father, and now she already feels bad for lying to him. While they are talking, Herbie notices a newspaper with an ad for a race. The prize is $10,000. When Maggie sits inside the car, Herbie shakes his hood and makes the newspaper stick to the windshield. Maggie sees the prize money and starts thinking. This money could help her move to New York and start her new life. Kevin then makes her an offer. If she agrees to race, he will fix Herbie for free. And if she wins, they will share the prize money. Maggie is scared, but she also knows this might be her only chance. So she says yes. And just like that, the journey begins. Maggie and Kevin start working hard on Herbie. They clean him, fix his parts, and slowly turn him into a proper race car. At the same time, Maggie starts training again. And after all the work, Herbie looks better than ever. He even gets a sunroof, making him look cooler than ever. Meanwhile, on the other side, Trip and Crash are getting curious. They want to know what makes this old Beetle so special. Trip is determined to find out the secret hidden under Herbie's hood. That same night, Maggie overhears a conversation between Ray and Sally, and what she hears really shocks her. Her father is about to lose his last investors because her brother keeps losing races. This hits Maggie hard. Now she feels even more pressure. She decides that no matter what, she has to win the next race. Finally, the big race day arrives. Trip is surprised when he sees Herbie again, now fully upgraded, even with a turbo. He gets curious and asks Maggie how she met this mysterious Max. But before things go further, Kevin arrives just in time. The race begins. Dozens of cars enter the track, but only one can win. Whoever wins today will face Trip in the final race the next day, and if they win that, they'll take home $10,000. As expected, Maggie and Herbie perform amazingly. They beat all the other racers and qualified for the final round. Later, Trip watches the race footage carefully, and then he notices something. A small lock of red hair coming out from under Max's helmet. That's when he realizes the truth. Max is actually Maggie. That night, Herbie spots the yellow Beetle again and drives toward her. When Maggie and Kevin see this, Maggie finally admits the truth. She tells Kevin that Herbie is not a normal car, he has a mind of his own, and now she accepts it. Kevin smiles and gives Maggie a necklace as a good luck charm. Then the moment gets a little emotional. They almost kiss. But suddenly Trip shows up and interrupts them with his headlights. He asks Kevin to leave because he wants to talk to Maggie alone. After Kevin leaves, Trip starts talking seriously. He asks Maggie why she isn't driving as herself, when racing is clearly in her blood. Then he reveals something surprising. He says he became a racer because he admired Maggie's grandfather. Finally, he offers her something big. He hands her the keys to his own race car and asks if she wants to feel what it's like to drive a real machine. Maggie agrees and goes for a ride. Meanwhile, Herbie watches everything and gets jealous. At the same time, Trip tries to inspect Herbie, but Herbie is not scared at all. He sprays fuel straight into Trip's face and slams his hood on his head. Trip gets furious. He grabs a tool and starts hitting Herbie again and again, but Herbie doesn't even get a scratch. His body is stronger than it looks. When the Trip turns around, Herbie even mocks him. A few minutes later, Maggie comes back, super excited. She says it was the best driving experience of her life. Then Trip raises the stakes. He says that in tomorrow's race, the winner won't just get $10,000. They will also take the loser's car. At first, Maggie refuses, but then she thinks about her father and the team's problems. Trip's car is very expensive. If she wins it, she could help her father, and she believes that she and Herbie can win, so she accepts the deal. But Herbie hears everything, and he feels hurt. He feels like Maggie is ready to replace him. The next morning, Maggie meets Charisma in the kitchen. Charisma suggests that they should move to New York earlier, but Maggie says she has an important race today and asks her to come watch. They both go to Kevin's shop, but Kevin looks worried. He tells Maggie that Herbie is acting out of control. He asks her to talk to him and calm him down, but instead, Maggie makes things worse. She starts telling Herbie that he must listen to her and do exactly what she says. Now Herbie feels hurt and angry. Soon they reach the track. Both cars line up side by side, ready for the big race. The signal comes and the race begins. At first, Herbie takes the lead, but slowly he starts falling behind. And then, just before the finish line, Herbie suddenly stops. He loses the race on purpose. Maggie is shocked. She gets out of the car, confused and upset. Then Trip tells her it's time to show everyone who she really is. Maggie removes her helmet, and everyone is stunned, especially her father. Kevin comes to her and says they should just leave, but Trip reminds them about the deal. He takes Herbie. Maggie is furious and heartbroken. As she walks away, her father comes up to her. He is deeply disappointed, not because she lost, but because she lied. Maggie tries to explain, but he doesn't listen. He turns his back on her and walks away. That same day, Maggie decides to leave for New York with Charisma. But during the journey, Charisma makes her realize something important. Running away is not the answer. She should fight for what she truly loves. So Maggie turns back. She goes straight to Trip and demands her car back. Trip lies and says the car is out for a drive, but the truth is much worse. Herbie is in a monster truck show, and he is about to be destroyed for entertainment. Inside the arena, Herbie is getting hit from all sides by big vehicles. Maggie sees this and panics. She tries to run inside, but security stops her, so she talks to the owner and offers to buy Herbie back. The man makes a deal. If the Beetle survives the show, she can take him for free. Just then, a giant monster truck enters the arena, ready to crush Herbie. While Charisma distracts the guard, Maggie runs into the arena. She dodges cars, barely escaping getting hit, all while trying to reach Herbie. When Herbie sees Maggie, he feels alive again. He gets his hope back. At the last second, just as Maggie is about to get hit, Herbie saves her. He pulls her inside through the sunroof. Now they are together again. Crash gets thrown out of the car and Maggie and Herbie start working as a team. They dodge every attack. The monster truck chases them, trying to crush them. But Herbie is too smart. They use another car as a ramp jump onto the truck and destroy it completely. After defeating everyone, Maggie finally escapes with Herbie. She takes him straight to Kevin's shop. Kevin is shocked to see the damage, but he still helps them. The next day, they go to watch Ray Jr. race, but once again he crashes badly. This time, he was taken to the hospital, and the doctors give terrible news. He has lost depth vision in one eye. That means he can't race anymore. Ray Jr. asks his father to let Maggie take his place in the big NASCAR race, but Ray refuses. Maggie finally speaks up. She tells her father that racing is all she has ever wanted. She asks him why he doesn't trust her when she only had one accident, while her brother had many. Then Ray finally tells the truth. Maggie reminds him too much of her mother, and he already lost her once. He is scared of losing Maggie too. Meanwhile, Kevin tries to fix Herbie, but he has a problem. He needs parts, but his supplier refuses to help until he pays an old debt. At that moment, Ray Jr. comes to Maggie and asks her to take his place in the big NASCAR race. He tells her to do it no matter what their father says. Maggie agrees, but she has one condition. She will only race if she can do it with Herbie. So Ray Jr. gathers the whole team. Everyone works together to fix Herbie in time. They replace his entire body, change the tires, and give him a completely new look. Then they paint him, making him look better than ever. Finally, race day arrives. At the stadium, all eyes are on the track. When Trip sees Herbie again, he gets angry. He goes straight to Larry and asks why they didn't get rid of that car, but nothing can calm him down. Before the race starts, Maggie takes a quiet moment with Herbie. She says sorry for everything and thanks him for never leaving her side. Then they both move to the starting line. Everyone is watching them. When Ray sees Maggie on TV, he feels nervous. He doesn't want her to get hurt, but at the same time, he feels proud. The engines start. The cars take a few warm-up laps, and then the race begins. At first, Maggie and Herbie fall behind. Other cars take the lead, but slowly they start catching up. They move forward, one position at a time. During the break, Ray can't sit still anymore. He turns off the TV and rushes to the track to see his daughter in person. After the first pit stop, the race gets even tighter. Trip is leading, but Herbie quickly catches up to him. Suddenly, other cars surround them. It looks like there's no way out. But then Maggie hears something. Her father's voice. He is cheering for her, telling her she can do it. That gives her the strength she needs. She pushes forward and breaks out of the trap. But now there's a new problem. Herbie is leaking oil. If they don't fix it, they won't finish the race. At the next pit stop, the team quickly repairs the tank. But they warn Maggie one more hit, and Herbie won't survive. Back on the track, they are behind again. But not for long. Soon they catch up to Trip once more. Now, with just half a lap left, both cars are side by side. It's a close fight. Trip tries one last time to push them off the track, and the tape on Herbie's tank starts coming loose. Everything is at risk. Then suddenly Maggie loses control and crashes into the wall. Trip's car spins out, blocking the track. For a moment, everything feels over, but then Herbie does something unbelievable. He climbs onto the safety barrier just like before. They speed ahead, take the lead, and cross the finish line first. They win. With this victory, Maggie becomes the first woman to win a NASCAR championship. Everyone celebrates. Her father, her brother Kevin, all of them are proud. Meanwhile, Trip walks away in anger, still shouting that the car is alive. Finally, Kevin gets his moment. Maggie kisses him and thanks him for always supporting her. Weeks later, life is better. Ray calls Herbie back home, saying there's another big race coming. And now, Herbie is not alone anymore. He has found his perfect partner, and maybe even love. So guys, if you enjoyed this story, don't forget
and subscribe to K.Movie Explain at K.Movie.E for more. Please visit to our Instagram and Facebook page. Thank you so much for watching till the end.